Have you ever had an idea that was so clear it was like a 3D movie? Have you ever told a friend about the idea and they told you, wow, if you could only make that into a business, you would be rich? Sound familiar? Welcome to Knowledge to Currency. I'm your host, Senator Porter, with my co-host, Raymond Williams III, and we're here to help you take action. This is free information. We only ask one thing: build a strong foundation and mindset. We have insight to help you get started. Most of us just need a push. What's happening, everybody? Welcome to an episode of Knowledge to Currency, where knowledge is power and currency is king. I'm your host, Senator Porter, and you are?
Raymond Williams III.
And today we have Ray Got Skills. That what you go by, or what should we call you?
Yes, sir. Ray Got Skills.
Very nice to meet you. Thank you so much for being on the episode. With our show, we kind of try to tell people how to do vertical integration, how to multiply their income. Don't just rely on one source of income. So based on your business, you use the camera to kind of do that. But we kind of want to go by your history, like where you came from, who you are. So let's start first. Are you from San Diego?
Yes, sir. Born and raised.
Okay, that's good. I like that. All right. And then now you're more like, you have like a media company in a way, photography, like everything. How would you describe your business?
So, yes, I have a company. The name of my company is Gym Lifestyle, LLC.
Okay.
GYM is an acronym for Get Your Money.
Okay.
So
I like that.
I read in a book a couple years back that the average millionaire has at least 7 different incomes.
Right.
So I wanted to pretty much create a company that would be the umbrella to my 7 different streams of income.
Okay.
I picked up a camera, started recording my clients, just putting together like training videos and recording some of their games.
Okay.
I got pretty good at it, and then started having parents ask me, if I did birthdays or senior photos. And I would say maybe by the 4th month of me picking up that camera, I kind of just started dabbling into other avenues outside of sports. And then I did my first wedding within a year. And then once I did a wedding, I kind of already considered myself professional.
Right.
And so from then on, I just took off with it. And then from there, I was trying to figure out how can I actually make this into like a steady income.
Okay.
And then that's kind of what
sparked it off.
Yeah, what sparked everything.
So I had a friend in particular, he's got the skill kind of like you, where he could take a camera, like take wonderful photos, make video content, and he enjoys doing it, from drones to whatever. But he doesn't look at it as a business. And he'll do weddings. He's done stuff like, for weddings, as an example, they make a lot of money for wedding photography. But he'll just hook somebody up for like $200. I'll try to explain to him, and then he'll get another referral. I'm like, man, you're not understanding the value. So how did you start to value yourself?
My support cast.
Okay.
So, like, when I first started picking up the camera, taking pictures and stuff,
right,
I didn't really consider myself professional. I really was only doing it to, like, help my athletes.
Right.
And I think the first person in my support system to like tell me I was getting really good and I should take it serious was, I call her my ace. Her name is Shamira Reed.
Okay.
And she's actually the one who first signed me to her company to make me feel more official, called New Era.
Shout out to Shamira.
Shamira Reed.
Shamira Reed. Shout out to Shamira Reed.
Her they call her Poetic.
Okay. Shout out to Poetic.
Journalist, graphic designer, web designer. But she was the first one to say, Ace, you're really good at this. You should take it more serious. If you take it more serious, I'll sign you to my company.
Okay. And
from then on, it was kind of like that just put the confidence in me. And so I started off, I was charging minimal. I think I was charging like $25.
Okay. For what kind of picture?
I was just charging $25 an hour. I didn't care what you wanted.
Oh, okay.
Just give me $25 this hour. I'll take pictures and videos of whatever you need me to do.
Sure.
And then that's when I started to realize what really went into the art of photography and videography.
Okay.
And so once I learned more firsthand of what went into it, at that moment, it only made sense. Hey, I'm more valuable
Absolutely.
than I was yesterday.
Right.
And so the more I kept perfecting my craft, the more I had, and at that time now I had one person in my support system that was like, hey, do this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, at the time I'm a lost individual, so mom, dad, everybody's like, you need to work a 9 to 5, you need to this, you need to that. And I'm an ex-athlete. Like, I played college, oversee everything,
Right.
basketball. So like, when I hung it up,
Yeah.
I knew I wasn't designed or placed on this earth to just be sitting, you know,
Right.
in a cubicle or in a, you know, office space. So by the time I would say 6 months into me picking up a camera,
Mm-hmm.
then my mom came around and was like, hey, you actually good. Hey, you good. You know, and she was used to me being on the other side of the camera, you know, as an
Right.
athlete, people taking it. So like, my goal was to make my support cast the first believers.
Okay.
And once I made them believers, at that point, it was kind of like they were helping me with the business aspect. Like, hey, if you're doing all this, why are you still charging this?
Okay.
And, you know, in all honesty, I wasn't confident in charging a higher amount just because I knew I didn't go to school for it or anything.
Sure.
And so I kind of was just finding reasons to, like,
Keep the
undersell myself,
Right.
you know, until, like, I got to a point where I was like, okay, well, I've got 5 people that have seen my work and they like my work. And I haven't had a bad review at all.
Right.
And so after my first year, I gave my own self a raise. I said, hey, instead of doing $25 an hour, now I'm going to charge $50 an hour.
Sure.
And it was risky at the time because I'm like, some people might be like, oh, he switched the price. Oh, he this, he that, he this. And, you know, you start thinking about all these things,
Mm-hmm.
you know, that, you know, are just kind of like hindering your forward
growth.
progress. You
Yeah,
know?
absolutely.
And so I got to the point where I was like, F it, I really don't care about what they think because I'm the one putting in these hours.
Right.
And if they don't like it, whatever.
Right.
You know, because I'd already studied my competition too. Like, what are people charging for this?
Right.
And I always made sure that I put myself right under because I was like, you know what? These people have been doing it for this long.
Right.
I'm not going to exceed them yet until I get to this point.
Right.
So each year I would give myself a $25 raise. And then by the time, right now I'm at $150 an hour.
Okay.
And there are people that I've locked in for life at a set rate because they believed in me at a
From the
point where I
beginning.
was like, you know what? I feel bad switching up on you.
Right.
You know, I'll charge somebody new double what I'm charging you because
Mm-hmm.
I was at a different place when you took faith in me. You feel me?
Yeah.
So
when I'm hearing from you, a couple of jewels that people that I want the listeners to understand. Number one, you put in the hours. They say 10,000 hours in basketball.
yeah,
I put in your 10,000 hours. So you said you worked a year at a set rate. Then you set goals. You're just saying, okay, all right, I don't feel that I'm able, but other people may feel that, but it's what I feel. So you stuck to your guns. You studied the market, and then you say, okay, I'm going to just be under these people. And then another thing that people should know is if you get too busy, you should raise your price because it gets to a point where you're losing opportunities because the people are like, hey, can you get me? Can you get me? You're like, hey, I got this on my plate. So you want to have a balance. You don't want to be to a point where you have so many customers that you can't live a lifestyle. You can't do what you want because you're always working. I'm sure editing takes tons of time because I edit this show.
yeah.
So I know how that is after market. So what are some, I guess, who were some mentors in that space for photography and videography that you looked towards or leaned on to get better?
Well, first one was, of course, Shamir Reed, my
Okay.
ace. She's the one, she was doing photography already. She's the one who kind of walked me into it.
Nice.
My next inspiration is a guy named Lan Nguyen.
Okay.
San Diego native, graduated from Helix High School. He used to be a club promoter and a shooter for the clubs and parties and stuff. And
Nice.
then he went on to do film school in LA and then ended up getting connected with doing videos for like Nipsey Hussle, rest in peace, Schoolboy Q.
Nice.
And then he landed the regional marketing job for Shoe Palace.
Okay.
And
That's
so
big too.
all the music videos or all the promo videos that are played in Shoe Palace,
He does them all.
that's Lan Nguyen from San Diego.
Shout out to Land Win.
He was a huge mentor of mine because
Nice.
he was somebody I saw pick up just like with my ace. I saw somebody pick up a camera, turn it into a business, and between photography, videography, and graphic design and web design, start your own business. So she was the first like testimony. Then I saw Land to Win.
Nice.
And he was in a different avenue. It was less business and more like nightlife,
Oh yeah.
entertainment, and just seeing him in position with like big moguls, big celebrities and stuff. I was like, man, this dude grabbed a camera and put himself in position to do this, and now landed this. And then my third influence, another San Diego native, Calvin. His name is Calvin. He goes as TSC Sports.
Okay.
Worked for NBC.
Nice.
This is a guy that killed it he's still killing it in the sports division, basketball and football.
Nice.
And so I ended up getting a job with K2C, working the prep pigskin department, where they focus on high school sports.
Okay.
And a lot of that was because of what I saw my man Calvin do just through sports,
Right.
creating a platform. And based on that platform that he built, all he's doing is focusing on middle school, high school sports, football, basketball, and helping kids get to the next level. So between those three natives, I saw them. Oh, another one more guy, Cinema Zay. His name is Isaiah.
Okay.
Isaiah is another buddy of mine. We go back since me and him didn't have cameras, and we did a lot of running in the streets together.
Sure.
And I saw him change his life with a camera. And he was hanging around Land as well, too. And Land helped him. The camera helped a lot of people where I'm from escape their reality.
That's dope.
And then it also helped us show the true story of what was really going on. Because even when the news would come out and shoot their segments and read their scripts, it wouldn't really match up.
Okay.
So we were like,
So
hey,
you'd
yo,
be the true reporter.
yeah, I want to be kind of like a voice for the community.
Right.
With all these news crews here, is like, they know if they go to him, they're going to see, they come to me, they'll see a different type. They'll hear a different type.
Right.
And it'll be in a unique way that you'll be like, psh, I had no idea he did that.
Right.
So, but those are my mentors, in this industry from San Diego.
Yeah, you go ask them.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I just want to just say, in my personal opinion, I talk for many, but right now I'll speak for myself when I say Ray Got Skills is one of the best in the business. I definitely see him exceed expectations. And, when he's there, he definitely has the leadership capacity to be able to organize the masses. Sometimes you need everybody to get on one accord. If it's sports, a wedding, no matter where it may be, even on like a natural setting, you just need to get that shot. And one thing that I've seen him do is, use that eagle eye and put things in perspective. So, we had to have you here to give you your flowers. Ray Got Skills really is, got skills. So I had to just put that out there. I also want to just ask you, who are some of the individuals in the urban life that you have captured with your camera?
Man.
He captured me before.
Yeah.
Let's see. Snoop Dogg,
Nice.
Chris Brown, Trey Songz, Ty Dolla $ign, Nipsey, rest in peace. P&B Rock, rest in peace. Kaylin 2 For Real, Pleasure P, Bobby V, Kim Kardashian. The list goes. I could literally sit here.
You get Nick Cannon?
Nick Cannon. I got the opening of Wildin' Out,
That's
San
what I
Diego. Who else?
The local, right?
Coi Leray, Jim Jones, Bryson Tiller, The Game. I promise you I could go on and on.
Yeah, can you share with our listeners and subscribers what type of camera, what type of material are you do you favor?
I personally shoot with the Sony FX3 in particular. I personally feel like when it comes to cameras, it's like personal preference. There are so many great cameras from Sony, Canon, Panasonic, you name it. I think it's your job to do your own due diligence and research to figure out what camera suits you best. So based on what I shoot and how I shoot, Sony FX3 is like, and that's entry-level cinema line, Netflix approved. I can't say balling on a budget because nobody on a budget would even be able to get that, because you have to, I look at them as investments.
Right.
Right? If I'm spending that much, my concept is, how can I make this money back?
Right.
And so Sony FX3 was like the camera that was like, hey, this is top-notch cinematic, but in your budget.
Okay.
And and mind you, I was maybe 3 years into my shooting before I was able to get it. You know, I started off with, you know, like Canon TIs and Sony Cyber Shots.
Mm-hmm.
And each camera I got, I did more and more research on the next camera.
Which I want.
Yeah.
How much was that camera?
It was $5,000 for the body.
Okay.
A little over $5,000 for the body with insurance and everything, and then the lens was $2,200.
Did you buy it online or in the store?
In store. I'm an impulsive buyer, so if I'm spending that much money, I need it right there. I'm not paying you that much money and waiting nothing. I need it.
Yeah, I got one for you. I want to, you know, kind of like, what's like your sequence for success, you know, when it comes to, you know, monetizing opportunity, and especially like thinking with the end in mind. So like, let's say you go to a wedding, you film it, you get to the house, you know, like you edit it, finalize it. How many times do you go back? Because you got some pretty cool shots and angles, and you know, it's edited very well. With some of your critical success factors?
It goes back to the saying, proper preparation prevents poor performance.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm constantly like, I'm like that overthinker, right? So before I even turn on my camera, I like go into a room and I scope it. I'm reading it. Who's here? How many people? Where's everything set up? And that's like first things first. I scope it, and I go make sure whoever hired me, I go introduce myself, let them know I'm there, if they need anything in particular. I take pride in them not needing to tell me anything. I want them to worry about whatever they got to do. And by the time I'm getting to my work at that point, I'm just knocking out every idea I have in my head shooting-wise. So it's like I overshoot. So if you're my subject, I'm going to shoot you from the front. I'm going to shoot from both angles. I'm going to shoot from the side. I'm going to shoot from the top. I'm going to shoot from the bottom. That's one shoot. That's one person. And so if I've got multiple subjects, multiple things, I'm getting as many shots as I can get. And then I go home, and then the process of editing starts, right?
Okay.
Unloading all the data, pull up memory card, load the data. I shoot multiple projects in a day, so I've got to find, you know, where the project is, drag, drop, put it into the editing software, and then now I go through the editing process. The editing process, which typically goes, you know, cut, crop, audio adjustments, effects, transitions, titles, overlays, and then like I'll probably watch it a couple times just to make sure that rough draft 1 is the best version of rough draft 1, because 9 times out of 10, I'm expecting feedback, right? I'm expecting, oh, I like it, but can you this? Oh, hey, this is cool, or this, right? Because I'm putting together my idea of their vision,
right?
You know? So a real creative person or somebody that has a particular vision, they got it down to a T. They like, oh, can this, boom. So I'm the type of person, like, I also take pride in, like, picking up things quick. So I expect one revision, right? So I send it to them, and I tell them, be as brutally honest as you can be in this, because I don't want to go back to the drawing boards, edit everything you need me to edit, and I send it back, and now you need more adjustments.
Right.
Because now I'm going to charge you for the time.
Yeah.
The time is really what you're paying for.
Right.
You know? It's not just the services, it's the time. And editing, in my opinion, is more challenging than shooting. And it's more time consuming. So by the time I send rough draft 1, I expect the feedback. I send it back depending on how big the project is. Sometimes I may need to make another edit or revision, but for the most part, it shouldn't take no more than 1 to 2 edits or revisions. And then I send it to the client, and then from there, we're on to the next project.
Yeah, it seems extemporaneously, You know how you do things. You know, one thing I've noticed by working with you, you do pay attention to persnickety details, and you know how to zone in, and that makes you a gallant swashbuckler. You know, when it comes to videography. So I just want to further salute that, man. Ray got skills in the house.
Appreciate you too. I will say this too, man. I appreciate you too, man. I ever since being a part of Young Black and in Business, my the demand for my services in the community has, went up. So, I know you laugh and you say it a lot, right? They be like, oh, there's benefits with, you know what I mean? Young Black, there's really intangible benefits. Like, it's so many people that'll just be like, oh, hey, so-and-so gave you my number, or so-and-so did that, or so-and-so said, and it's like it always comes back to somebody that's a part of Young Black and in Business. And I remember when I was doing work with you in the community and I wasn't a part of Young Black and in Business, and it wasn't until I found out that one of your relatives is one of my close ones, and I'm like, yo, this gotta happen. Right. I'm young, I'm black, I'm in business, and I'm, you know what I mean? I'm looking sharp, I'm half the size, but just as sharp, you know what I mean? So I'm like, I think this would be a good collab, because my goal was to also edify and turn up Young Black, and I take that stuff serious.
Right.
Young Black in Business.
That's sick.
Right? That's
that
holds weight. It's like you hear money, power, and muscle.
Right.
Ooh. Those 3 powerful words.
Right.
Young Black business.
Right.
It ain't too many of our kind. That's so.
Right.
That's right. Big love.
Yeah.
Man. So I mean, my projection, man. When's the Emmy coming, man? What's the plan for the Emmy? What's that looking like?
I give myself to the end of 2024. That's like a realistic goal. Like, I want to still. An Emmy is like my short-term goal.
Mm-hmm.
I ultimately need a film on Netflix, on BT, or something powerful, more documentary style, more impactful. It's so many, like, Kanye dropped that documentary last year, and it was a vlog style documentary of his journey, of just him and his photographer named Coogie, who was filming on cameras that have weight. Yeah. So seeing stuff like that make the big screen, and realizing that all it really has is substance.
Oh yeah, it's the story. Like, it's not the quality of the footage.
And I'm like,
the story.
No knock against Kanye, but I know a lot of people with a story.
Oh yeah, everyone has a story.
I know a lot of people with a story that'll change your whole perspective on something just by sitting down and talking with these people. So I'm like, how can I manage to kind of put it all together? And this is like the plotting, planning, brainstorming. Like, I could be going a day and I still got content built up enough for the next 20 years.
We've seen that firsthand with Tupac, or like you were talking about with pretty much all those different artists that have passed away. Their art is still here. So, like Tina Turner passing away, anyone like that you can think of, the actual catalog of their work doesn't go away.
Yeah.
Especially if you put it up online, it never goes away. So that's powerful that you even thinking that way. What do you prefer, or maybe you don't have a preference, photography or actual like video?
Honestly, I like the balance.
Okay.
I'm a person that gets bored easy.
Yeah.
Like, I tell my mom I think I got ADHD, and she'd be like, boy, shut up. And really, it's just like, so I can't say I have a preference. I like the balance, because I could shoot 3 videos in 2-day span. Okay. And then I tell myself, man, I'm I need to sharpen my skills in the picture department now.
Right.
So
you gotta shoot.
Yeah, having that balance. Some days I like shooting video better than pictures, and then vice versa. But ultimately, I don't have a preference.
Cool. So I'm in the real estate space. During my W-2 job, I'm a corporate recruiter, and I deal with a lot of realtors, loan officers. And right now there's a big craze for getting your message for your business through video. And that's in our world, but I believe in all worlds, like you should have either, like you said, document your journey, blog style, just stuff you're working on, projects you work on. So I feel that people have a better relationship with you, they understand you, and then they may buy your product or service. What are your thoughts?
You heard of the saying, a picture says 1,000 words.
Mm-hmm.
A video says 1,000,000.
Okay.
Come on. So like,
I hear you. Bars.
I could take a picture of y'all right now, and they'd be like, "Oh man, that look like cool setup, man.
Right.
It look fun, it look boom."
Right.
But instead of having that still shot, we keep the camera there, and we get still video, and now we can hear what y'all saying.
Exactly. Change.
Now the impact's different, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can look at it and not know what they talking about, and now you got to guess, and now you're like, "Oh, no. We're gonna eliminate that guessing, right?" And now we're gonna tap into a whole nother aspect of you as a human, and now get your ears. You're going from your eyes to now your ears.
I agree with
So, I got into this profession for that reason. Like, I wanted to capture forever memories.
Okay.
I wanted to capture something that a person will get, and they'll be like, man, they proud of it forever.
Right.
Right? Not just in the moment. Like, a month later or a year later, they'll go back to that video and be like, man, this was dope. Like, and now they want to get another video shot like that. Like, I'm giving you that confidence through how I'm shooting this.
Yeah. No, we were talking sometimes through Facebook, a video or a picture come up. It could be like 10 years ago. And it's interesting how as soon as you see it, because you were there,
it brings back everything.
Yeah, in that moment.
Yeah.
So you were exactly on point with that.
Yeah, making people feel good, changing lives, making them see themselves in a different perspective. Somebody be like, oh, I didn't know I looked that well.
Bingo.
Or, I didn't know I had that posture.
Yeah.
Hit me at the right angle.
That suit. That suit.
Something different. And that's what we hear. We do at Knowledge of Currency. I really like the metaphor you spit earlier where you said knowledge is power and currency is king. Back to the videographer world, a picture is worth 1,000 words. And a metaphor is worth 1,000 pictures.
Okay.
So we on the same team. It's really parallel, and the power is in the spoken word, and then also Confucius once said, "The person that controls the images controls the mind."
Yep.
So the images you're capturing are controlling that that mind,
the narrative,
that positive perspective. You know what I mean? Now, I would say you definitely are great at that, capturing people in their brightest moments. So I want to just tell everybody, go follow Ray Got Skills, go look at some of his previous work, book him now because as the man said, the price is going up. Yesterday's price ain't the same. So, book him now and, be consistent so you can get that buy-in.
How do people get a hold of you? We're coming to the end of the show, so we'll make sure they get your handles and everything.
The easiest way, Instagram at Ray Got Skills with the Z. In my bio, there is a link with my website, and you go to my website, it'll have more samples of my work, and it'll have all my contact info. I highly recommend clicking that link in the bio. Scroll down, look at pictures, look at videos, look at whatever you like to look at. And then if anything stands out or if you need any services, don't hesitate to reach out.
And you do video content, obviously photography, what other services?
Marketing.
And also digital marketing.
So that's just in the marketing realm.
Okay.
I still do fitness and training, mainly sports specific. Basketball.
Come on.
And that's what ultimately was the foundation of gym lifestyle.
Point guard, let's go.
Exactly. So I literally took qualities from basketball and transitioned them into the work field.
Man, I'm gonna tell you, man, he went from point guard to point Dexter, man.
Oh, man.
In the video field, I didn't see him cross over, man. Transferable skills. Big salute.
Nah, well, I mean, if there's any announcements that you have before we wrap up, you got the floor is yours. If not, we'll say that it's the end of the episode. But do you?
Yeah, man, give us some words of wisdom, man. You got that,
man. What I will say is thank y'all. I'm very appreciative. I'm very humble in this situation too. I enjoy having sit downs and like-minded individuals picking each other's brain apart. One thing I will say is hopefully I have motivated or inspired somebody to get after their dreams or their goals. Coming from somebody whose plan A failed, and then my plan B and C turned into my A.
Yeah.
So
that's beautiful, and the moment somebody pays you for your service, you a professional.
Facts.
It ain't about your degree. It's not about anything. They paying you to cut grass, you a professional grass cutter or hair or whatever it is. So I'm glad that you took that leap and you kept on with it and you continue to make your craft better.
Ray got skills.
All right, so in the words of Dr. Dre, just chill till the next episode, baby. And that's a wrap.